to Sunday Money. Another installment. What do we got? 5 or 6 left, Daryl? I think 6, maybe 7. I don't know. 6.
Six. Including today.
Including today. Man,
I think we can make it.
I think we can make it. Barely. But Daryl, those of you who are just listening to audio and not checking us on YouTube, Daryl is in what looks like my grandparents' house from 15 years ago. Some house in Florida, just like every other house in Florida, has a screened-in dome around their pool in the backyard. Where are you, Daryl?
I'm in Springs, Florida, the lovely town of Coral Springs. Nice people.
Whose house is that?
A friend of mine is also
Oh no.
timeout.
Dude, does your friend not have Wi-Fi? Does your friend not have Wi-Fi down in Coral Springs?
Oh,
You're cutting out.
is it cutting out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you doing this on purpose? Are you doing this on purpose?
Yeah. We've been talking for 10 minutes.
I know.
And it was fine.
I know. I think you're doing it on purpose.
Just stay close.
Anyway, I'm quarantining down here.
Because somebody that you were close with, or you were close to somebody who tested positive. But you, Daryl, you have the golden ticket. You have 3 negative tests. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm glad you're well.
I did a drive-through test.
Yep.
Where you put it in your own nose.
Yep.
Ooh.
Passed.
Passed it.
Did a blood test. Passed. And then I did another nose one. Passed. So
did you do the urine test? Did you do a urine test?
No urine. No urine. But the person that tested positive on a Monday, and then did another one on Friday, and he was negative. So I don't know what's going on out there.
So everybody you saw between the week before that's got it now. So I'm glad you don't have it, Daryl. The president of the United States has it.
The United States did not look healthy yesterday, Corey. What's going on?
I don't know. He's got it. Obviously, well wishes to the guy who's leading the country. He's got a lot of stuff on his plate. I hope he recovers. Hope the First Lady recovers as well, and they get back to doing their thing.
Get back to sponsoring Timmy Hill's race car.
Timmy Hill. So Tim and I were talking about it this weekend. He was walking up to the grid. I'm like, hey, man. He's like, man, I couldn't imagine what you were going through. I've been called a racist. I've been called a this. I've been called a that. I said, yeah, bro. Imagine how. I said, whatever you've been called or whatever you've done, just magnify it by about 1,000. And that's what I took the brunt of, because I just took the load off of you, Timmy. Timmy had a good run this weekend. We'll talk about Talladega here shortly, but that was a crazy race. A lot of crashes, a lot of I guess, I don't know, like
it was
craziness.
Crazy.
The ending was crazy. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I'm glad you're okay, Daryl. It really makes me feel good.
So I guess I should come back, right?
Well, no, we don't want. I mean, if you're near people that might have it, then you just need to stay in Florida.
Lauren, the one person I spend time with outside of my life got COVID. How does that happen?
That's some Daryl luck right there.
That is some Daryl luck.
So that was not good. And then I just been down here. I watched the race. I watched the president yesterday. It's just been a lot of TV and swimming. I'm a Floridian, guys.
Right.
God, Florida's the worst.
It's so nice.
I'd be okay if it just fell off.
See, I don't know what it is about Florida. I just don't like it. I don't know.
It's Daytona for me. That place is a source of stress for me, and so I'd be okay if it just washed away.
Well, let's not wish that upon it. But I don't know. I think it's like the pastel colors. All the houses are painted like pastel colors, and all the houses look the same. They all have like the pools with the dome of screens behind it, like Daryl. That even gives me anxiety just looking at it, because it's so Florida. I'm glad I don't live there.
No offense, Alexa. Alexa's from Florida.
Well, that's why she moved, because Florida sucks.
She wanted to get out.
We're not talking about the people. I hope that was on. I hope that was on there.
Yeah, that was great.
Apparently, a kid fell in a pool, and that's why they have to cover their pools. It's like a law.
A kid fell in it, like out of the sky, or?
Just like, just a clumsy kid walking around the neighborhood fell in somebody's pool, and now everybody has to cover their pools.
I
Oh,
think that's
okay.
I think that's an old wives' tale.
I mean, it makes sense. It doesn't
But,
do much to
but
stop
they're
the
saying
kids
that
that live inside the house,
Yeah.
but whatever. Pools, I do like water safety, so
So Daryl,
that was
nice.
fun.
Talladega this weekend. You were mentioned before the show that you watched it with a friend of yours that hasn't necessarily watched racing in a while or wasn't necessarily a fan, and you said it was amazing. Before we get into that, we don't talk about much Xfinity racing. I do think we should give a shout out to Justin Haley. He joined an elite club by his third straight super speedway win at Talladega. He joined Dale Sr. and Dale Jr. as the only 3 people to win 3 speedway races in a row. So Justin Haley, congratulations. Big shout out. Possibly he might be in the running for the Clutch Performer of the Week this week, but
Ooh.
stand by for that later in the show. But Sunday afternoon, 500 miles of Talladega provided a lot of excitement from start to finish. There was a wrecking on the first lap of the race. So, Daryl, what was your experience? Because it was a little bit different than
Um, First of all, I'm embarrassed to call you my favorite driver. I don't know what happened out there again with the fuel pump. How is this going to be our life, Corey? I can't have another year of fuel pump problems. You need to figure something.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
I think it's a little bit embarrassing. I think that's number 7 on the year, some fuel related issue, most of which are fuel pumps. And it always happens at the places that we run good at. We've had it happen at Talladega, obviously, Sunday again. Bristol, we were running the top 20 fuel pump issue. New Hampshire, we were running inside the top 20 fuel pump issue. And then several others throughout the course of the year. It only happens the places where we actually have a decent shot of running well. So there's only 5 more places where I can burn up a fuel pump this year, and then it's on to greener pastures, hopefully. I don't know. It is a bug that has been biting us all year long, and even the back end of last year. It's something that we haven't been able to quite figure out. I don't think that they're not trying to figure out. They just haven't figured it out. So it's unfortunate that the old Schluter Systems Ford Mustang, we had a good car. We had an A motor this past week, and we shot ourselves right in the foot, and we were riding around in the back, just watching everybody wreck. I did have one close call. I don't know if you saw that or not when Daniel Suarez wrecked, and I got kind of pinched in between the wall and his car. It was like the Bubba Wallace-esque, his Pocono move. Remember when he went beneath Ryan Preece in the wall? It was kind of the same thing, just 185 miles an hour. Pretty wild.
You remember that one? That was a good one, huh, Lauren?
Yeah, that was one of my faves.
You remember that. If you pull it up, like the one where he hits the jump and his whole car comes off the ground, that was pretty much me, Dukes of Hazzard style.
I remember that.
Yeah. So beyond that, it kind of sucked. It sucked for me because it happened on lap 12. Went behind the wall, lost 14 laps, and then after that, there's nothing else to race for.
But you fixed it and you rode around.
Yeah.
And there at the end, you were able to stay away from all of the
carnage,
the craziness. So that kind of sucks because if you wouldn't have had your issue earlier,
I would have probably been right in there.
You probably could have
pushed somebody to the win, or somebody could have pushed me to win. But
yeah, I don't know if it was like before the race ended, but at some point Andrew showed me like who was in the top 10, and it was just a bunch of.
It was Timmy Hill, Quinn Huff.
It was the weirdest group of folks.
I mean, there was legitimately only probably 12 guys that had some sort of damage, and even a lot of the cars in the top 10 had damage. So that was an anomaly. That wasn't really an anomaly because they usually trash a lot of cars at Talladega, but this one in particular, we wrecked a lot of cars. We didn't have a scratch on ours though, so finished 28th, not a scratch on it at Talladega.
Great job.
You hate to see it. Hate to see it, but there was a lot of excitement from start to finish, especially the last lap in particular. Daryl Wallace led some laps.
The last lap wasn't on my TV.
Oh man, that's a point too to talk about. Like, so I was obviously in the race. I wasn't necessarily watching it on TV, but apparently it was on NBC, right? And the race went like 5 hours long. Yeah. A couple red flags. So the last, how many laps was it they have to switch?
I mean, it was just literally that last overtime round.
No way.
Yeah, right? It wasn't the whole. It was the last. Oh no.
Last.
I really wish we could hear what Daryl had to say.
We can't hear you, Daryl.
Now we can hear you.
It was the ending.
Yeah, it was the last. I'm pretty sure it was just that last, whatever, 3 laps or however
That's
long
crazy.
overtime is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it sucked.
What?
And then on my TV, all that came on was the evening news. I was like, listen,
Really?
Sarah French, I don't care about seeing you right now on WCNC. I wanted to watch the race. And then it'd scramble and
That's tragic.
find Sports Network.
That stinks.
It really does.
So Corey,
Yeah.
That was some silliness.
Yes,
I'm
Daryl.
watching with a brand new race fan. First time watching a race.
Yeah.
I make him sit through the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're cheering.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to the last 3 laps, the last overtime. Boom. Changes channels. Well, this is a vacation house. There's no cable here because we're just doing internet TV.
Oh my goodness.
So we didn't get to see the end of the race.
Dude.
They lost a fan.
They lost a fan.
I don't doubt it. I mean, I would be sour too if I was sitting there watching it and didn't have it on my TV and they switched it with the most exciting part of the race.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Well, and it kind of took us a while to realize, like, that it had switched over because, you know, they'll go to break and the news will pop in and just do a quick little hit.
Yeah.
So whenever it kept staying on the news, we were like, what has happened? Like, I don't even remember hearing any kind of, hey, we're moving everything to NBCSN. Change it over to that channel.
That's
was
a
weird.
shame.
It was a weird little thing.
You know what else is a shame? Matt DiBenedetto did not get his first career win.
No, he didn't.
There was
Again.
just, you know, that's probably the main topic everybody's talking about, right? Is the double yellow line rule. Do we have it? Do we not? What do we do? Put tractor tires in the infield like a dirt track, and then just anytime somebody hits it, they just flip over. I am in the minority, I believe, and I think the double yellow line rule is effective. The problem is it puts the judgment call in NASCAR's hands, which rarely does it happen. When NASCAR has to make a judgment call to put somebody in the back for forcing somebody below the yellow line, or even going beneath the yellow line to improve their position. And we saw multiple instances of that on Sunday, which was you hate to see it because normally, you know, I think that if you took the yellow line rule away, you would have cars literally 4 lanes below the double yellow line down the back straightaway, blocking people. It'd be crazy. And, you know, some people say, well, it's not going to wreck any more or less cars than it is right now. I could see that case. But you have to have some sort of boundary because if not, then you're going to have cars all over the place. At least you know that this is your boundary, and obviously the outside wall is not going to move no matter how much you try to knock it down. It ain't moving. So, you know, I think in that particular instance, do I think that Denny Hamlin improved his position? Yeah. You know, I think that, you know, you look back at some races where, you know, Regan Smith lost a race to Tony Stewart. I think that it's just you hate to see a race come down to NASCAR's judgment because they're in a lose-lose situation because
nobody's going to be happy.
Nobody's going to be happy. And an interesting rule. I wanted to talk about this before I forgot about it. Is that there's an appeal process, or you can file an appeal up to 20 minutes after the race. That's what Alan Gustafson did. Chase Elliott's crew chief. You literally have to write out a note like, "Hey, I appeal the finish where the 17 pushed us below the yellow line or whatever because they got tossed and then they were 22nd and they got put back to 5th." I didn't even know that was a thing. I kind of knew it was a thing, but I didn't know there was like a 20-minute clock. If you bring your note to the teacher 2 minutes late, like,
sorry,
you're out of here. Take your cake home. So there was a lot. I mean, Denny wasn't even trying to win. That's what the whole race. He was content to ride and miss the wrecks and have a solid points day. And sure enough, it landed right in his lap again. Obviously, he's a pretty good speedway racer. He's won a couple Daytona 500s. so he naturally finds his way towards the front. But even when he's not trying to win, he still wins. It's like this is he's having a year for sure. So, but my personal opinion is, now I don't know. I don't even know where to start or where because if you start disqualifying somebody for going below the yellow line, what about the person who pushed him there, right? So technically you could blame it on Matt for pushing the 24 and the 11 below the yellow line. There's a solid case for both sides.
Lauren?
Yes, Daryl.
I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee. Can you take some notes? I don't know what he's talking about.
NASCAR does have
I'll be right back.
a lot of rules.
Okay.
Bye, Daryl.
Yeah, Corey, you keep going. You're doing great, Corey. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. You keep going, okay, buddy?
I'm
gonna mute it.
It better
Lauren,
be clutch
take
bar.
notes.
Okay, I got it. My pen's here.
Now, I'm sure you and Andrew have some in-depth conversations about this.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at the background. That's a nice background.
It looks nice.
It's still Florida though. It looks like it sucks.
Yeah.
What did Andrew's opinion of the last lap?
Well, he doesn't like to see Denny Hamlin win, so he's gonna forget all logic and just go against whatever.
Toss him.
Yeah. But the rules. I get that it's a complex thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but that was silly. Just all of the craziness post-race was silly.
It was silly.
And people were kind of pissy about it.
Yeah.
I know Jeff Gluck, he went on a little rant, I think, about it, and a lot of those types were unhappy.
Dale Jr.'s not happy about it.
Right.
I mean, there's people that are outspoken that they don't want to see the yellow line rule, and I can see that side of it. At the end of the day, whoever crosses the start-finish line first, no matter where you're at, is the winner of the race.
Yeah.
I hate
no
to
matter how you
see
did it.
the guy who finished third or second or whatever be declared the winner after. Now, tech is another issue, but like on the racetrack, physically racing, if you pass the start-finish line first, you are the winner.
Yep.
So, in this particular case, when it's up to the booth and they're sitting there reviewing tape saying, well, I think he did this to avoid a caution or to avoid wrecking somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other side of it is, okay, if you hold your ground up against the yellow line, then you end up you crash somebody.
Right.
So, like, would you rather not cause a crash, or would you rather him crash somebody so he doesn't go below the yellow line?
Right. Well, we had already had enough crashes at that point.
What's another couple cars just wreck some more?
Oh.
Like, I still love Tony Stewart's like, why don't we just split the field in half, and half would go one way and half go the other way, and then we just do a figure eight. That was my all-time favorite, Tony Stewart, Talladega.
He's the best.
Some very informative talk, Daryl.
Thanks for being so engaged and involved with this podcast.
Thank you so much. Did you get some Clutch coffee?
Well, the yellow line, and if the yellow line, then oh my God.
Well, I think the moral of the story is going to be, I don't foresee it changing. That's the moral of the story. I mean, I think that they have to set their boundaries, and if the yellow line rule is in play and they know how to police it a little bit better, then, hey. So you're going to have it's racing. You're going to have instances where it puts you between a rock and a hard place sometimes, and NASCAR's put between a rock and a hard place sometimes. But what was unfortunate...
Speaking of a rock and a hard place, does your dad watch all the races?
Yeah.
Daryl, your internet sucks.
It does suck. My dad does watch all the races.
That's it. He had nothing to say. He was just
asking. Yeah, so I actually so this past week, Daryl, that actually brings up something I want to talk about. So Dad watches, he has this little outdoor area that he has some like hanging chairs, and he watches the race, and he has like my radio transmission from the NASCAR app on his phone the whole time. That way he can nitpick everything that I say or the spotter says. So
Does he send you like notes after the race?
Yeah. Well, text messages, and they're not particularly nice usually. But so the audio video specialists, I had those guys come to the house, the same guys who sent me a TV for Levi's birth, which was badass.
So nice.
They came to the house. They actually wired up like surround sound speakers with a Bluetooth thing so he can set his phone to the speakers of the radio transmission while he watches the race on TV. So those guys hooked it up. So he is watching the race in style, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing now that he's actually like in the car riding with me, because now he's more of a critic more than ever.
Right. He has all the resources.
Daryl, I need you to go sit right next to your router.
Oh boy.
All right.
What a lovely house.
Daryl
Is that better?
Yeah.
It's getting better.
It's getting better.
Are you going to go plop down on your bed?
As much as I'd like for you to be outside in the beautiful Florida sunshine, you got to be inside by the router.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah, much
It's a
better.
big house for Florida.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
well,
Look at that. That signal is booming now.
So much better.
Look, we got artwork, guys.
We're in bed with Daryl right now.
That's
Welcome
Daryl's.
to-
That's oh
Oh no, never
no!
mind.
You got to get back out. You got to stand up. Nobody wants to be in bed with Daryl. That's the moral of the story. You're frozen.
It's fine. We'll just go on without him. This is a shit show.
I kind of wanted to hear what he had to say about does my dad watch the race. I'm sure he
Right.
had something worth listening to. We don't have you, sir.
Daryl, hello.
Well, let's proceed the show. I mean, all the fans want to hear it without him anyway. So
Yeah. This will be a just a little example of what we're gonna do next year whenever we Daryl off the show. And
Oh, now he's
it
static
going.
screen.
I love technology.
Everybody, round of applause.
Should we take a break?
Let's take a break. But we haven't really found our groove yet. I got to let this clutch coffee kick in a little bit. We'll talk to you after the break.
Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina is redefining the drive-through coffee game in Race City, USA. The Clutch experience is fast, friendly, and delicious. Clutch Coffee Bar offers signature lattes and mochas, custom-flavored infused energy drinks, smoothies, and more. You can also order our signature Clutch coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com or visit our 2 locations in Mooresville, 356 Williamson Road and 154 West Plaza Drive. Power up today with Clutch Coffee Bar.
All right, guys, we're back. And we have trimmed the fat, if you will. Daryl's technical difficulties has not allowed him to continue the rest of the show. Hopefully we
We're
get
done
it back
with
for
him.
next week. Hopefully he recovers
Right.
from his negative COVID test. Congrats,
Right.
Daryl. I'm glad he's okay.
Hopefully he recovers from his
That guy
Sorry,
vacations
I was
more than
channeling my inner
anybody.
Chuck Bush here. I was trying to do a little.
Lauren's on the laptop actually
I was
doing work
pulling
during the
up
break.
sounds.
We've had some technical difficulties, but hey, it's all good. Everybody loves when we talk about the free agency, especially
Right.
people at Reddit, because I end up saying stuff that I probably know shouldn't be out there, but I do anyways, and that's for all of our devoted listeners.
Right. You have to listen. Hear the Easter egg.
And I think I've said it before in the show, is like, you don't, being that the media is not at the racetrack, and you're not spending 3 days at the racetrack throughout practice and qualifying, and you don't get to rub shoulders with as many people as you do. You don't hear as many rumors swirling. Normally, you can't talk to anybody without hearing it. But a lot of stuff's done formal, right? Because there have to be meetings either away from the track or discreetly. It's way more easy to do it discreetly, which lines right up to what I've been telling y'all for 2 months. How long have I been saying Kyle Larson's coming back?
Well, just about since he got kicked out.
Just about, because you can't, like, let's offer the guy some forgiveness and grace, right? Because in the grand scheme of things, we all do things that some are private, some are public. He had a pretty public mistake. He paid his due.
Yeah.
He's doing his time, did his time, and he's going to come back. So the first step of which, I didn't get to read it. Seemed like a lot of people read it. He put a essay of sorts.
Yep.
Not sure when the last time I've written an essay besides that letter. Rick, I literally haven't written anything. On his website.
Yeah.
Lauren, you said you read it?
Yeah. I think
What'd
he
you
put
think?
it out like late Sunday night. It was really nice. I felt like it was really sincere. It wasn't an iPhone note, which we know that will just really spin Daryl out if you write some heartfelt apology or whatever in your note section on your iPhone. So I was glad to see that it was an actual written out thing.
Yep.
It was really nice. I think since the beginning he's been very remorseful for what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to judge his intentions, but I don't think that he said it with any
Nope.
ill intent.
Nope.
So he just kind of went through the whole situation and through his whole essay. He was very, very remorseful, like I said, and talked about a couple of the things I guess that he's done. Just working on himself type thing.
Yeah.
So I think he deserves a little bit of forgiveness, and I think that the NASCAR community and the world in general is probably willing to offer him that. So
I think so.
I think he's going to be back.
I think the majority of people are ready for him to be back. I think that, knowing Kyle personally, I know the type of guy he is. I know the dad he is to his kids and the husband he is to his wife, Caitlin. So he's a good dude, man. And I'm excited to have him back.
And he comes from a good family, too. I don't think that
he's just a good guy.
Right.
He made a mistake.
Right. He wasn't raised to say ugly things like he said.
Yeah.
But
he's going to be back, and you know where he's going to come back. It is Hendrick Motorsports. Been saying it from the jump.
That's quite a comeback story.
I texted him. It wasn't probably 3 weeks after all of that went down. I was like, man, just stick to the plan, right? Just, do what you're supposed to do, and you're eventually going to have an ESPN 30 for 30 done on you, because his resurgence is going to be awesome. The fans are going to really embrace him, I believe, when he comes back, because if you watch a sprint car race, those people love him. I mean, he's obviously one of the most exciting guys to watch physically on the racetrack. That's one thing, but just his resurgence and going to come back like a phoenix.
I think it's going to give him a new appreciation for the sport, and so where we maybe would have had some issues with him maybe not showing the personality that I think he truly does have, like in media type things that we were doing earlier this year and years past, he'd gotten a little boring there. So I'm hoping that maybe he's just going to have a real appreciation for the sport and his opportunities, and he's going to go back to being a peppy guy.
I think so, because he is that guy, right? And I think he got beat down a little bit with, not being as competitive as he wanted to be.
Yep.
But when he comes back, and who's going to come back with, I don't think that you're going to get the answer out of Kyle Larson when he says he wants to win the Chili Bowl as much or more than he wants to win the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how big of a deal the Daytona 500 is, because now he hasn't had the chance to win it, or any cup race in particular for that matter.
Right.
So when he is back in the seat at Daytona in February, he will definitely want to win that Daytona 500 more than he wants to win a $10,000 to win midget race. Like, that's just the way it is.
Right.
Does he love dirt racing? Absolutely, and I'll tell you. But I think now that NASCAR, in a sense, has been taken away from him, he's like, oh, yeah, that was actually a pretty good deal. Yeah. And I liked it a little more than I thought I did.
Yeah.
He's going to come back. What I've been telling y'all, nobody thought it was real. I've been telling y'all for months. He's going to come back. He's going to be put in that whatever is going to be the renumbered, the 88 car, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any inside sources, but this is just how it's playing out, because the way they registered Alex Bowman stuff and some Hendrick releases, they didn't necessarily put what number he's going to be racing next year. So I see Kyle Larson being in possibly a 25, possibly a number 5.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be.
And what number do
Hendrick
we
cars.
think Alex Bowman is going to run?
I think he's a 48.
He's a 40.
I think. This might be all wrong. It might put Larson in the 48, but I don't think so. I think they put him with the Chevy goods and all the stuff that runs through Rick's B2B stuff, and then Alex Bowman will be in the 48 with all Ally stuff. And then I am excited to see Kyle Larson back. I think he's going to bring a lot of fans with him. I think not necessarily a lot of fans left when he did, but he's been cultivating a lot of fans at these dirt tracks, racing 2-3 times a week. Yep. He's been exciting to watch. He's been winning a lot of races. He's going to bring a lot of fans back with him.
I think there's dirt fans, they love dirt racing.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that everybody who watches, sprint car racing and dirt racing, they don't necessarily watch NASCAR.
Yeah.
But I think they're really going to be pulling for Kyle.
Yeah.
In this comeback. So I think that you are right, that they're going
to watch him.
Yeah.
And I think some of them probably didn't think that the penalty fit the crime, and probably were a little bit turned off by how the league just shut the door on him.
Yep.
I think a lot of people were soured by that. It was kind of a bad spot they were put in, so they did what they felt like was the necessity. But
When do you think all this is going to shake out? When do you think we might know?
I think the longer they go and don't announce it, I think it plays into their favor a little bit. I think it might soften the blow of the other side who might not think that he is or might not be
deserving.
willing to offer him an olive branch or grace, which is stupid. But I think that they try to get everything buttoned up. Everything's obviously really quiet right now, but I think it's been in the works for weeks now, if not months. So I think it's going to be cool. I do think they're probably, I would imagine they're going to renumber something for him. But Jeff Gordon gets his guy. Rick Hendrick gets arguably the guy that he wanted. And he goes from, Kyle Larson coming into your camp. I'm glad Daryl's not here, so we don't have to argue about it.
Right.
Kyle Larson coming into your camp. Ultimately, that's the high tide that raises all ships, right? Because that's the guy you're gonna have to try to keep up with no matter where you go. And there's dirt race next year, and he's probably gonna lap the field, but that's another story for another day.
Good stuff.
Couple more free agents. Me being one.
You are.
The music is still playing. We're still circling around the seats.
Okay.
Like you're in the middle.
Gonna sit where?
You're in the middle of the gym, and there's 3 or 4 of you, and then when the music stops, you got to grab that chair and hold on to that thing no matter what. So there's who we got. Eric Jones hasn't landed somewhere. Matt Benedetto is the story as of late.
Yep.
They might not pick up his option over at the Wood Brothers for Austin Cindric. Who else we got?
Daniel Suarez.
Daniel Suarez hasn't announced where he's going. He's announced he's left the 96. It seems as which he's going to go to a RCR affiliate team being Trackhouse, the Justin Marks thing.
Team.
So that should be a cool team.
Yep.
Obviously, Daniel's got his partners he brings to the table, so he's able to make that deal work. Another team, 43 still available.
Yep.
Who's Tyrone Dillon still looking for a job?
Tyrone.
Who else we got on the list there? That's it.
We
talked about Kyle Larson and his resurgence. He's going to get a 30 for 30 made on him. It's going to be awesome. Stay tuned until 2023 to watch that. This is what I see happening. Oh, no. My headset's on.
Oh, no. Hold on.
Can you still hear me? Okay,
issues.
now I can hear myself. I think Eric Jones gets him to 37 over JTG. I don't know where that leaves Ryan Preece. He's got Kevin Harvick's management group manage him, so I think they'll find somewhere for him, whether that be an Xfinity car. Don't know. Haven't talked to him. And maybe they might re-sign him up. I don't know, but I think Eric Jones over there is a fit. I think Tad likes kind of what that story would present. Daniel Suarez lands over there at the Trackhouse deal.
You're gonna land somewhere.
I'll land somewhere. I got a couple things in the works. There's actually not very many seats available, but I got some.
But you think you're not gonna be on unemployment next year?
I will not be on unemployment this year. I should actually probably end up signing something this week.
Hey.
I should have an idea of what I'm going to be doing. A couple different things is what it looks like. Waiting on. I mean, ultimately, it ends up how much money do you have and how much can come to fruition. Something on the Cup side looks pretty good, and then something on the Xfinity side looks really good. Do a little bit of mix of both.
Okay.
That
could be exciting.
That could be exciting. I need a little bit of a confidence booster, to be honest with you, because it's been a while since I've been in anything competitive. I've been beat down.
Yeah.
Like a stray dog.
Yeah.
For years now. Just breaking fuel pumps.
Yep.
Getting kicked in the nuts.
Yep.
Every week.
We want to see you with a new loving owner. Put a nice collar on you.
That wants to,
That just
take
wants
me
to
in.
give you treats and.
I'm a good dog.
Yep.
I've just been beat down. I'm kind of mangy.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
But I'm lovable.
Okay.
And I could play fetch better than any other dog in the neighborhood. Just give me a shot.
Okay.
Throw that tennis ball as far as you can. I'll go get it.
That's great. Well, we can't wait. We're really glad. Andrew was getting worried that he was going to have to start like Venmoing you money for groceries or something, but we're glad that that's not going to happen.
No, I think we're good on that front. I'm excited about what's to come. So there's that.
That's great.
Don't worry about me. I'm good, guys.
We're excited.
But hopefully you should be able to announce something first here. Hopefully Adam Stern doesn't get a hold of it before we get a chance.
Adam Stern.
to unleash it on Sunday Money.
Maybe we should have Adam Stern on here to release it.
Maybe.
Be a good idea.
Well, I bet you his Wi-Fi connection is a lot better than Daryl, so maybe we
Probably.
could jot him in this week. I don't think he listens. Everybody else listens though. Jeff Gluck listens.
Right.
Bob Pockers listens. They
We're-
probably listen to see what kind of news I break.
Yeah. What things you say that you're not supposed to say.
Yeah, that I stick my foot in my mouth. But
I mean, we're not very highbrow. This is not a highbrow NASCAR podcast.
no, that's why we don't make it onto their Instagram stories.
Right.
Because they're like, they probably cringe every time they're like, oh,
Right.
shoot, another Sunday Money.
It's fine.
Have you watched the Kyle Long show yet
No, I have not.
with Paul Swan? I haven't
No.
watched it either.
No.
Kyle Long.
That's definitely not a highbrow NASCAR show.
We got to give him a shout out.
Okay.
They're in the crew. They're in the crew.
Yep.
Some of our audience might want to go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's called the Kyle Long Show. I think it's on NASCAR's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And it's got Paul Swan. You like that sort of energy?
Yeah, and he has some energy.
Tickets, yeah. I mean, if you like wrestling, like that's the energy that Paul Swans bring to the table,
Yeah,
right? Like that
he's
guy is
great.
a wrestler in his previous life. Now he doubles as Austin Dillon's best friend and tire carrier. So
Mhm.
go check out the Kyle Long Show. What else we got? We got to do the Clutch Performer of the Week.
We do.
Then we have to do the O'Reilly review section.
Oh my gosh! And how are we going to do that without Daryl? Somehow, I think we'll manage. But
Well, I'm gonna need you to pull it up.
okay, I will.
But I think we got to take one more
Maybe
break.
we'll take a break.
Let's take a break. Come back with the Clutch Performer of the Week and O'Reilly rating review section.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the Tire Tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
All right. Hey, we're back. We were talking about TikTok. TikTok seems to be the topic
Yeah.
of conversation, no matter if you're in politics, no matter if you're in racing, no matter if you're in the racing sponsorship game. Whether Ryan Vargas had a TikTok sponsorship this weekend, which is cool. I don't know how he got that, but congrats to Ryan Vargas.
Yeah, that's great.
Car looks sweet.
Not a lot of NASCAR drivers on TikTok.
There's not, but they make guest appearances every now and then.
They do. I feel like their wives sometimes just like, they're, hey, honey, will you
Yeah,
be in my
would you mind-
TikTok video?
This flip the switch TikTok is a great thing going,
Right.
but it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was frightening to see. And we're not going to give you all of the details.
We're not going
but
to give you all the details, but there is a TikTok video out there in the cloud somewhere
of a NASCAR champion.
of a NASCAR champion, fairly recent, who may or may not be wearing his wife's clothes in a flip the switch TikTok video.
Go find it
Go find it.
and make it go viral.
Please make no, for his sake, God Almighty.
Please.
I mean,
do.
it is cringeworthy.
It is.
Now, that's actually 2020 in a nutshell, because if he's worried about TikTok and flipping the switching,
Mm-hmm.
looking like that,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason why he hasn't won a race yet, 2020.
That's so true.
I mean, holy mackerel. And this is not me I'm talking about.
No. Now, would you do this if Kelly asked you to make a TikTok video and
No.
put on some of her little,
Not the chance.
some of her
no
crop
way.
tops?
No.
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 Okay.
Like,
Because my husband wouldn't either.
you wouldn't ask your husband to do this.
Oh, 100% I would ask my husband to do this. I get so much pleasure and joy out of doing things that I
That
feel
are degrading to him.
degrading and would embarrass him if I posted them on the internet.
Okay. Well, hey, no names. And it's probably tough to find on TikTok.
I
But
don't
once
know.
you find it, it is gold.
Think about the type of NASCAR drivers' wives that you think would be on.
Yes. But it wasn't on hers. It was on her friends.
Oh, was it?
How did you find this video?
I don't know. I think it showed up on my For You page, I think.
Mm,
Or maybe another video of that person,
yeah.
including the race car drivers.
And then the one below it was that.
Right. So I think I just went down maybe the TikTok rabbit hole and I found
Oh,
this video.
God. And you found the rabbit hiding.
I found
Oh,
this
it's
great. Alexa is probably so confused as to what we're talking about right now.
and
but
we'll
don't
show her
worry,
after
I'll
the
show
show.
you.
I may or may not have sent that to NASCAR Chasm, so NASCAR Chasm has it.
Okay.
Well,
So
he's
then maybe
gonna-
people won't need to go.
people won't need to go, but
That was
I sent him the link, and he just said, "What in the blue hell is this?"
That was great.
And it will see the light of day.
It will.
You can't not
wait.
do that and not expect it to come out.
I can't wait.
It's something. It is something. But I would give him the Clutch Performer of the Week for that, but it's not a good performance. The Clutch Performer of the Week is who we think. Not Daryl's Wi-Fi router.
No. He was a loser this week.
Loser. I think Justin Haley had another. I think he's in play. Who else we got?
I mean, he squeaks it out there at those super speedways. He finds himself in pretty good positions.
I mean, he's either the luckiest guy with Ross Chastain and AJ Allmendinger wrecking each other at Daytona. He was running third, scoots to the win.
Yep.
He was leading the race under caution when the Lightning hit it in the Cup race.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he was in the right spot at the right time.
Yep.
So I think it's a combination of luck and skill.
Yep.
You can't luck yourself into 3 straight super speedway wins.
No.
A little bit of skill that's involved in that, because as much as you're lucked into when you're running third and the 2 leaders wrecked themselves, somebody else could have been third. So we'll give it to Justin Haley. Justin Haley is the Clutch Performer of the Week. It's brought to you by Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina. You can order Clutch coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com. I don't think he needs Clutch coffee beans. He's a pretty wiry guy to begin with.
Yeah, he has a lot
but
of energy.
You, Justin Haley. And he also, I don't know how how can you just change your name from JJ Haley to Justin Haley like that?
He was JJ Haley?
He was JJ Haley for years in truck. And then I think when he upgraded to Xfinity, he changed his name to Justin.
Right.
I don't know how that works.
That's silly. I'm not going to.
I'm not JJ Haley.
No.
I'm not JJ Reddick.
Right.
I am Justin now.
Mm-hmm.
Call me Justin.
Very
Do not call me JJ. That was my previous name. Now I'm a Justin.
Right.
Congrats, Justin.
That's.
I heard we got a good quitters review.
Yeah, so it's time for what do we call this?
This is the O'Reilly review section.
Okay. So our first review is titled Quitters by Nick Lebrecht. Since I've started listening to the Sunday Money podcast, I've become a Corey LaJoie fan. But with all of the talk of quitting the show next season, it's made me start to hate Corey's decision-making skills. I'm sick of it. Come on, man. Grow a pair and get the gang back together next season. If you can't talk Daryl into it, then call Dave Grohl. So maybe that's what we'll do.
The real Dave Grohl, not the fat Dave Grohl.
That's great.
The thick Dave Grohl. I'm not quitting podcasting. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I appreciate MRN, and I believe that there's a spot for me to keep going in some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Lauren has that option as well. I don't think Daryl wants to do it. He just wants to make his Instagram videos.
Right.
He obviously
and we do
is
love
vacationing at places that doesn't have legitimate Wi-Fi to conduct the show.
He's just not serious about this very serious.
Well, he doesn't give a shit about racing. That's the crux of it. But I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, what it is. I enjoy this part of it because I think it allows me to build my brand off the racetrack. So,
let's figure out your real job.
Yep.
Let's figure that out, and then maybe over the off season.
But this might be my only job.
It's true.
There's a chance of that.
It's true. And you know what? If you need something to do every Tuesday or Wednesday, then by God, I will make sure that I make myself available for that.
By God. So that's it. That's at least a couple shillings a week.
Right. We'll give you the $25 a week or whatever it is.
It's good stuff. Is that the only good review we got?
Oh, did we want to read more? Okay,
no.
Hold on.
Maybe one more.
Okay, one more. Hold on, let me go back to my things.
We'll be back in some form or fashion. Maybe not collectively together. I'd like to be on the show with Lauren and Daryl, but Daryl wants to make what I watched last night videos. Which are actually pretty well produced, I will say. I don't know if anybody goes on Instagram, follow Daryl. He posts some good stuff up there.
Okay, this is from Racing Mail. I started listening at the beginning of last season, excited for a new NASCAR podcast to listen to. I knew only a little bit about Corey, but not much. My friend had told me Daryl was a stooge, which is true. A stooge or a Scrooge? I don't know.
What's it spelled like?
It says stooge.
Stooge?
Is that a word?
Like a Three Stooges?
Maybe. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but maybe that's a compliment.
Okay.
Daryl. Yeah.
He had told me that Daryl was a stooge, and I had no clue who Lauren was. It's okay. No one does. Over the course of the last year and a half or so, I've learned so much about the sport I've loved all my life, from the inner workings of the teams behind the scenes or just the battles on track that TV doesn't show. On top of that, it's one of the funniest podcasts out there. The chemistry you all have together is amazing. Corey will hands down take the top spot as my favorite driver whenever Kurt Busch retires. You know, the
Thank
Cup
you.
champion and Daytona 500 champion.
2004.
We are never undermining Kurt Busch's success. But,
No.
I will go wherever you go, Corey. I'll be pulling for you. Keep stacking those pennies. Daryl, you're a stooge, but I still appreciate you. Lauren is hilarious, too. Enjoyed these last few, and hopefully I'll see you at the track next season. That was nice.
That was nice. What was her name?
That was Racing Mail.
Racing Mail.
Like
M-A-I-L.
So I don't know. I don't
So
know
it
if it's a
could be
girl
a-
or a boy.
I mean, it's 2020. You can choose whichever
Yeah,
one
you
you
can
want
be
to be. It
whatever
doesn't
you
matter.
want. It's fine.
You know. Well, thank you for that nice review.
That was
That's the
good
O'Reilly
stuff.
review section. Would you like to give
I-
O'Reilly the shout out?
Oh, no. I think you can do it.
No?
They love hearing your voice.
I don't think so.
They do.
But I need you to thank O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for their guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices, better reviews every day. I need to get an upper control arm for my Lincoln. So I'm going to go probably today to O'Reilly and get an upper control arm because the ball joint's kind of jacked up in it because she's old. She's a little weathered. I'm going to drive that thing till the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
So
hanging in there.
we got to give our listeners some homework today. If you're on TikTok, you got to go find that video.
Go find this video.
You'll know it when you see it.
Yep.
You'll know who it is the instant you see it. It's kind of hidden. You got to go through a couple rabbit holes to find it, but
Yep.
it's worth it.
Yep.
And maybe Daryl will be back next week.
Well, who knows?
Hey, everybody be safe. Seems like the Rona's hitting. I mean, it takes no favors.
No.
Daryl's friends, the
Yeah.
President of the United States. Y'all stay safe out there.